Hello everybody and welcome back to Magic Duel of Champions. So, stuff. Since the last week we had a quite unfortunate tournament. Not really convinced about this. Still, we have a weekly format right now on Jackpot. Wonder was the weekly for this week. You can only have cards from the neutral faction. That's interesting. Can this even be done? Because there is no neutral heroes. Anyway, if it's all neutral, that's definitely nothing I will be interested in. Let's get to the Infernal Pit. And on the Infernal Pit there are some really interesting cards. Namely, on Tuesday, the Ichor Spinner, which in my opinion is slightly weaker sister of Ichor Weaver, even though she has more attack and more health, and they cost virtually the same and have the same requirements. There's a one thing that makes Ichor Weaver, in my opinion, significantly stronger than Ichor Spinner, which is the fact that all friendly creatures gain poison heal, while you have Ichor Weaver. Though, combine Ichor Weaver with Ichor Spinner on the board and you have the ultimate Infect deck created. Friendly creatures with Infect gain Infect Blast X, where X is equal to its Infect value. So, not only all your creatures are healed by the poisons, also you can, freely shoot the poisons all over the place without worrying that you will poison your own creatures and thus hurt yourself. So definitely, if you don't have an Ichor Spinner, adding a 1 or 2 to your poison deck would be a good idea. And I'd definitely add one if I had a poison deck. And I'd definitely combine it with Ichor Weaver. Because these two... oh yeah, these two can make the most powerful poison deck ever. 32 wildcards each. Expensive. I wonder how much will they cost in the Infernal Pit. Though, besides that, on Friday we'll be having the Renegade Wizard, Zuleika Renegade Wizard for a Stronghold. With Earth and Air, these are pretty decent schools of magic. Earth providing some support to your creatures and to some extent to you as well, like for example the Stone Shield or something like this, which prevents all the damage taken during one turn to your hero. So that's good. It also has some regenerations, some mass regenerations. It actually doesn't have any direct healing as far as I can remember. Well, it has some spells that increase the maximum health, and I guess that while increasing the maximum health they instantly heal as well, at least for the amount they increase the maximum health for. So if something has target creature gains +2 health, it instantly heals the creature for 2 health. As far as I'm aware, and her special ability is a passive ability to some extent. At the beginning of your turn, if your might level is 5 or more and your magic level is 4 or more... oh, it's or. No, wait, and. Yep. 5 or more and your magic level is 4 or more, target friendly creature gains magic resist until your next turn. So magic resist is really handy. Damage dealt to this creature by magic creatures or spells is half rounded down. Really useful. And because it's free to use and it will use automatically every time after you get to might level 5 and magic level 4, which actually is not that hardcore, especially given that if you have a hero like this with a powerful schools of magic like Air, for example, there is a lot of cards. I'm trying to think how much exactly they require, but there are lightning bolts, there are other lightning stuff that Air search that require 3/3. Cyclone cannot be used as far as I'm aware. So they require 3 magic. There is something that requires 4 lightning curse. Enchant creature planet whenever a creature is deployed on battleground position adjacent to enchant creature deal 4 damage to it. So yeah, air is really good for dealing damage. And there is, even though you could really do with only 3 magic, there is some stuff that works better with 5. Forked Lightning, I don't think it's available in the standard format anymore. Father Sky's Wrath, that's not that bad. But that's not that good either, so... yeah, this is a really... Thunder. This is a really spell to consider. I guess the storm is coming. Oh well, this is a really spell to consider because given though it's quite expensive and high on requirements, it's quite powerful as well. And when it comes to Earth, Earth also has some nice spells, like for example my personal favorite, Mass Regeneration, also the aforementioned... where is it? Stone Shield. Oh look, actually Stone Shield requires you to have 4 magic, Insect Swarm only 3. But yeah, 4 magic is not that hardcore, 5 might is decent as well. Renegades, something like this. Yep. So these are not really so high, so weird, so abstract requirements. You can quite easily get to them, especially if you'd skip on fortunes in this deck. Meaning you won't be adding anything to your destiny values. You can, in roughly, how much will be it, 7 turns. And you can get your Renegade Wizard to start dropping magic resistance all over the place. And even though it affects only 1 creature, it can help. Yeah, especially if you're facing, like, for example, Academy, which can really go nuts with spells and magic creatures. Can be really helpful. You know what? Now I'm curious because last week on the duels with the, or what are they were, with the Academy, yeah, I've been suffering a lot from the, oh actually these were shockwaves, not the focused blast, but anyway, I was suffering a lot from these AoE effects on the golems, keeping in mind that they were totally crippled and withered and stuff, rendering them all totally useless in the direct combat, but apparently they were really effective at wiping off the entire battleground using those shockwaves and focus blasts and other stuff. Now I'm really curious. Well, of course, he's a magic shooter, this Surging Golem, which serves as an example here. I wonder if Focused Blast counts as a magic damage or regular, non-magic damage. I wonder if there are any non-magic creatures with some sort of blast. Magic melee shooter, magic. Oh look, but, well actually it's Infect Blast, not the damaging blast. Put 2 poison counters on all enemy creatures adjacent to attacked creature, though whenever this creature deals attack damage. So this is ridiculous again, because if Putrid Dragon will get totally crippled to no attack and no retaliation, it still seems that if he'd attack something, he won't infect the thing that he directly attacked, but everything around the thing that he attacked. Which is actually quite weird, to be honest, and here we have spells, so it's not cutting it. Well, apparently all the creatures with, well, besides the Putrid Dragon, but he's got an Infect Blast. Or I should actually search the Shockwave wave like this. Like this. I knew I had to mistake something. Magic melee, magic shooter, magic. Spell ongoing and spell ongoing. Friendly air creatures gain shockwave, enchanted creature gains shockwave, so I wonder, because apparently using these spells you can enchant your non-magic creatures to deal shockwave damage, though theoretically it's from a spell, so theoretically it would be counted as magical, but I really don't know how it works. So now I'm really curious, even though all the creatures out there seem to have the magic attribute to them. I wonder if the spell resist or magic resist or whatever will be affected, or actually will be affecting the shockwave effects. This is really, I'm really curious about it. So let's get back to our renegade. I failed something. I know where I failed. Renegade, this way. Yep. So Zuleika, Renegade Wizard. Anything else to say about her? Well, probably not. Even though it affects only one creature, and only until your next turn, it is nice because it's free and automatic once you get to a certain point, so unless you are facing a really rush deck when your opponent will try to, you know, waste you before your 5th turn or something like this, on the longer duels she will definitely do very, very well at executing this ability. I wonder if the game crashes or bugs or does something weird when you have no friendly creatures but are liable to use the ability, because it says at the beginning of your turn. So is it before the supply phase or not? I'm not sure. Well, anyway, that means that you have to use this as soon as your turn starts anyway, probably after the supply phase. Yeah. But still, this is this is yet another interesting thing to how the game actually works, just like with the spells. Just like with the shockwaves, whether they are magical or not. I'm really curious now. Really, really curious. And to my opinion, that kinda sucks. I'm fucking grammar today so much. In my opinion, not to my opinion. I don't know why I'm fucking grammar today so much. I'm really bothered by this. Anyway, as I said, it's quite damn it. Yeah. I'm not really fond of it being at the beginning of your turn, because that means that you will have to use this ability before you drop something, and honestly it sometimes may be more useful to drop a creature and then use this ability on that dropped creature, not the other way around where first you have to use this ability and then you can drop creatures. And again, what happens if you have no creatures? Yeah. So that's all when it comes to talking, and let's get to dueling. Well, we'll skip the tournaments for now and we'll go with a quick game. I actually haven't played the ranked in a while because I had the tournaments going on, and I wasn't really bothering with playing with ranked off camera, so we kinda have to play something ranked. Steam Puzzle Syria. I haven't used this deck in a while, and I really feel like using something Necropolis today, because I haven't played with Necropolis in a while. Well, starter deck is not interesting. Anyway, I'm kind of bothered because now I'm taking a look at the Necro stacks and I see that I have only 3 spells, and that kind of sucks. I'm trying to think how many duels I won with Necro stacks, and it's possible that none. So that may be the case. You know, it's like after playing this game for a few years already. How much? 2? 3? Something like this. Even though a lot of changes and stuff, there are 2 things that are still true. Keep this hand. Let's keep this hand. I'm the starting player. That sucks, but whatever. There are 2 things that stay true. all this time. Really interesting that spells are overpowered and that you have to keep a steady supply of creatures in your deck. Yeah, he will be going nuts on the stacks because it's Anton. Increase the size of all friendly stacks by 1. I bet he has a ton of fortunes increasing the size of stacks, and the he's got his ability, other nasty stuff. Melee guard 2, are you flippin' kidding me? Lich tacticians, that's enough to drop them. Oh my god! Yeah, with the melee guard 2, I'm totally doomed. What is that thing doing? Friendly creature with stackable attacks and enemy creature increase its stack size by 1. That will prove to be more useful later on. For the time being, let's increase my magic. Just because. Let's step away. Let's drop that thing, increase the stack of my Venom soldiers. Let's end the turn. Damn it. Well, I have to rely on the... I'll have to rely on the shooters to get rid of that thing. Because I have... I'm trying to think about it really hard, but I bet that I don't have anything 3. Okay. Okay. Let's... Oh, bummer. No, not a bummer. One will die. But he will probably be able to increase the stack size anyway. It won't help me. Let's drop that thing. And that thing will be really helpful out there. Wow, we're gonna have a real fiery sunrise fest. that's what I'm talking about. Can he grind up enough damage to get rid of my thing? No. That's good. The problem is that probably my thing won't last too long. Unless I'll do something about it. And that thing is... withering. Or actually crippling. I could drop the second Multisilk Feathers on these two. I'm not sure if it's really necessary. Wonder if he will be able. He will be able, especially with all those fiery sunrises. Where are my skeletons? That's a real bummer. I don't know, could drop the second Lich Tactician out there, increasing the size of these Venom soldiers stack even more, which would make sense. They will be difficult to get rid of, given that they poison. Well, actually, they infect, not poison. They drop the poison counters. If I were to drop I could really use some special speedy dash out there on them. Well, actually, That's a good point. Let's drop it this way. Yeah, totally. Because poison. That's why. Oh god, melee guard. This is, was, and will be very annoying. But... oh, this got crippled. Oh yeah, of course, it was crippled by me. For a second I was wondering what happened that this thing is crippled. But let's attack. This increases their stack by 1 and they are poisoned, and that's bloody brilliant. Do I have anything cheap? No, I don't have anything cheap out there. That's quite a bummer. He won't survive too much. He's a melee shooter, so that's a bummer as well. I'm trying to think what's the best thing to do around here right now. Up to 2, so they cannot be respawned. I could really use more cards, I guess. Because looking at this right now, it won't help too much. Unless I'll move this dude out. Huh. Don't know. I'm running out of time. Let's do it. Let's drop this, let's do this, let's drop him, and let's make these untargetable. Let's increase my might, why not? Let's attack. End the turn. Okay. Well. What next? What he did? I think he increased something. Construction takes a building. Barracks, of course. I could really use a landslide, though landslide is oh no, -1. Oh, of course, stackable. Why it's not showing the stack size underneath that thing? That's a huge bummer. And I'm running out of useful cards. That's annoying. Should I drop or use the fiery sunrises? +1 will cost me a total of 4. Well, I can get rid of these easily. I can cripple that thing even more, but that won't really cut it. But let's keep doing it. If I were to increase my abilities with these fiery sunrises, be left with 3, then I could consider using the campfire. I still don't have anything dead with a cost of 2 or less. That's really... oh well. Let's do it. Let's draw a card. That is good. Bone to Bone. Deploy 3 skeleton melee shooter token creatures and stackable on each battleground position where a friendly creature died during your opponent's last turn. He's constructing more barracks, which is a really lame strategy, in my opinion. He's increasing his might and using more reserves. Bloody brilliant. Now I have something to use with the boneyard. Oh well, oh well. These cards suck. Really, really suck. Immune to retaliation, infect 1, stackable. But with as little as 3 health, will be wiped in a 1 move from that thing. Or I could deploy 3 skeleton melee shooter token creatures, but they won't be able to attack. Though if I were to drop the Plague Skeleton somewhere else... they are protecting themselves from melee attacks. That's a bummer. This thing is getting totally crippled. Could deal a solid 6 damage to him, or could enhance this damage a little bit up to 5. That won't help much. I'm gonna drop these there. I'm gonna draw a card. Bloody brilliant. I need more destiny for it. I'm gonna increase their attack just because I can, and I'm gonna down my opponent to 2 health and end the turn. We'll see. Interesting. Really interesting choice. Oh well. Sad face. Dance of the Dead. Destroy target friendly creature and deploy 5 skeleton melee shooter token creatures. Or increase your destiny. Drop that thing. Could use a couple of these, why not? Oh, deploy 2 skeleton melee shooter token creatures with 1/0/1 and stackable. Combine it with these. This drops as much as 3. Plus a couple will get 5. It will cost me 6, so... let's start with using Fiery Sunrises. Twice. Harassing that thing, increasing the size of this skeleton stack by nuts. And if I'd attack with them, they will get their stack increased as well, which is nice. They will be just wasted. They will get poisoned. And what should I do? Next I should do nothing. dealing with the Havenstacks decks is really powerful. Now he's healing himself. That's a real bummer. Oh, what is that thing? Falcon Holy Priest. Oh yeah, I can deploy a skeleton. Let's deploy a skeleton here and there. What is that thing? All other friendly human creatures' attack is equal to their retaliation value. Lol. That won't help him much. All other friendly human, blah blah blah. So I'll attack him, increase my stack even more. Oh, that thing is a shooter, so it can deal with that thing. Nasty? Yes, it is. These are actually quite useless as of yet. Can this thing be empowered in any way? Most likely in some way. Cool. Let's keep deploying. You have to wipe that thing out, you have to draw a card. You have to move away. And let's see. Griffin Legionnaire can get many Griffin Legionnaires more. What is that thing? Gain 1 for each friendly building. Yeah, he still can increase all stack size by 1 using his ability. Oh, blinding light. That's a bummer. That's a huge bummer. Okay, deploying more skeleton stacks. Up to 4 on each. Dance of the Dead. Well, Dance of the Dead, everybody. Yeah. If I'd care. Week of Elder Races and boost to skeletons. That's a good idea. So, what shall we start with? Wipe that thing, increase stack size. For 5 or for 6. No, it's a better idea to waste the 5 attack on my opponent. Bloody brilliant. Oh, and looks like I won. GG. Enter. I've smashed the delete button by accident. I'm just gonna waste the resource and stuff. Oh my god, stacks. They are so nasty. 20 minutes, not that bad. 11 turns, not that bad. Highest damage 7, quite good. Spells used a couple, creatures used 9. He used 10 creatures, more creatures than I did. Fortunes used 6. Buildings none, though I had a couple in hand. I really wanted to abuse this, well, I don't really think it'll be abused, though I really wanted to use the, whatever it's called, the Boneyard in a way where it works as a constant spawning machine for the Necro stacks. Here it is, yeah. As a constant spawning machine for either the Venom Soldiers or the Skeleton Spearmen. I have 4 Newborn Vampires in this deck. What's the point? I guess feeling. Sorry, I have Blood Ritualist. Sorry, I have Spider Guard. I'm pretty sure they work just as a fillers. Are there any better fillers? Well, definitely. Necromancer Apprentice. 003, Immune to Retaliation, Leadership 1. She could be potentially useful with the with Inferno and these lava spawns, because whenever lava spawn enter the battleground, decrease your might level by 1. So, oh, but she requires 2 to be deployed, because as far as I'm aware, there is no hero as of yet with no might at the beginning. I think, as far as I can remember, there used to be some heroes with no might at the beginning, but because the game got fucked up, and what is it? And you no longer can increase your stats in your first turn. Then after a while they figured out that when you're the starting player, which is already a disadvantage. Yeah, this is really ridiculous, because theoretically you could see that, well, if you are first, you're in advantage because you decide what the first move will be. To be honest, that's not true at all. That's not true. The truth is that the second player has a lot of advantage, first of all, because they have the Dragon Crystal coin, or whatever it is called. No, I think it's Dragon Crystal. I think the coin was in Hearthstone. Oh, hello. It's a really nice bird, just sitting on the bench outside, oh well, branch, actually. Outside of my window. Never seen something like this before. Anyway, I'm staring at the window and I'm talking about the cards. I don't really have to look at the cards when I'm talking about them. But as I was saying, there was some heroes with no starting might, but they figured out that with the new system where you cannot increase your stats in your first turn, and that you generally suck in your first turn because starting sucks nowadays, because your opponent has the Dragon Crystal and can increase his stats, etc, etc. Then they essentially swapped, because I think Char may have been one of these, but don't quote me on this. Yeah, but I think these were the typical magical heroes that were starting with 2 magic and 1 destiny, 3 schools of magic and 2 less health. And the basic idea was that you will have to increase your might in your first turn to be able to do something. That you'll be in this slight disadvantage, but on the other hand you'll have a lot of spells and stuff. But it was logical as long as you could increase your stats in your first turn. And now something like I'm gonna do it from the deck builder because it'll be easier to find it. Because the Necromancer Apprentice with his Leadership 1 is now moderately useless. Why would I drop something with no attack, no retaliation, barely any health, that only thing it really does is increase my might level by 1. I start with 1, and you know, if I have 1 resource in my first turn, well, I'd rather spend it on something like, I don't know, Skeleton, Spearman, a Wretched Ghoul, a Vampire Necromancer. The Venom Soldiers are great, I must admit. Yeah, the last game proves it, and many times that I've played against people with Necropolis stackable deck, starting out with Venom Soldiers is a real pain in the ass, because you cannot really go in there. You cannot really go in front of them, because they will infect you, and you're instantly losing a creature, so that's not really the point. And you look at them, oh come on, it's just 1 damage, that's not that much. They really get underestimated, and are really kinda, people are afraid of them because of the infect. But the stackable makes them really powerful, because at first people ignore them. Weak and infect. I'll wait until I have something with more health and not too much attack and not too expensive, because, well, this will be obviously wasted as soon as dropped in front of the thing. But the longer they wait, the stronger the Venom Soldiers become, and thus it gets the more difficult to get rid of them. So the Infect one really helps them a lot, makes them really powerful opening card. Ancient Ghost gains +1 attack for each adjacent ghost creature. Oh, that's interesting. Sins of Betrayal could really do well for a fully spiritual, ghostly focused Necropolis incorporeal deck based on Svetlana, I think it was now. It used to be Flashbane, but Flashbane was reworked and stuff. So, yeah. Stacks. Really painful to your opponent. Yeah, I'm kinda sad that Inferno is not doing as good on stacks as it could. Mainly because of the Hellhounds. And they don't really have that much of the stack spreading compared to other factions. Like, we have to go to the Altar of Wishes. Stackable. Look, we have like a couple of Haven creatures, 3 Haven creatures, 4 Haven creatures, 4 Haven creatures, and a couple of buildings. So it's total of 6 Haven cards for stackable deck. When it comes for Necropolis, we have, I'm lagging, I don't know why. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6, plus we have the omitted here Lich Tactician, so it's 7 creatures that are affecting stacks. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4 Fortunes. Not to mention that apparently Boneyard can affect stacks as well, in a really nasty way, by if you have 1 Venom Soldier in your graveyard, 1 Venom Soldier on the Boneyard, then it will be constantly increased by 1, because it will draw the Venom Soldier from the graveyard, put it on the Boneyard, increase the stack, and because you have card over the card, one of the 2 goes to your graveyard, and just the stack size increases. And then there is Inferno, which has 1 Hellhound that really sucks, because everything regarding Inferno stacks refers to breeder stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 creatures and 1 poor building that again affects only breeders. And not to mention that only 2 of their creatures are stackable on their own. Well, besides the Hellhounds, but Hellhounds are not affected by anything that fiddles with the stack size of Inferno creatures. Yeah, and apparently there is nothing neutral to fiddle with the size of the Inferno creatures. The only neutral stackable thing is the Power Hunter, which I must admit, back in base set 1, I kinda liked them. They were quite a nice opening creature. Now that they have stackable, that they are even nicer. Though with a cost of 2 and only 1 attack and 3 retaliation, kinda... Nope. Nope. And especially that I've learned that neutrals suck. The only neutral cards that you should consider using are the uniques. Besides that, no, not really. Anyway, we had Rambling, we had Duel, we had cards, we had everything we needed, I guess. So that will be it for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, share, whatever. And oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning, but guess I'll mention it right now, and maybe I'll mention it once again in the next week's video at the beginning, because that's quite important. Well, apparently, one thing to know: YouTube's private message system sucks, to say the least. Is apparently totally fucked up, because as it turns out, I am not getting any sort of notification about the new incoming messages. So to be aware that the new message came in, I would have to manually open the inbox and see if there is anything new in there. But the strangest thing is that after I receive a private message and I reply to that private message, I will be notified about every other subsequent reply to this message. You get the idea? It's not notifying me about the new message, but it's notifying me about the messages that I have replied to. Which in my opinion is quite weird, and to be honest, maybe I'm just blind, but I was kinda trying to look for the option to get notifications about the new messages as well, but I couldn't really find it, so I don't know, it's either that I am blind or YouTube being totally fucked up when it comes to private messaging. Anyway, that will be it for today. Once again, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week. Take care.